quickly say that I'm going to be switching between whispers and soft-spoken throughout the video, which I know some people don't like, so I'll try to do a good mix between both so we can make both sides happy. But I'm so happy to be filming again, you guys. Also, if you can hear my stomach growling, let's just pretend it's not growling. I'm so happy to be filming again. I feel like I've taken like little small breaks within the past few weeks and haven't had the most motivation, if I'm being completely honest. Honestly, because I've just been very busy in my personal life and pretty content lately, just happy and living life, and I've lacked motivation to sit down and film a video. I've honestly been putting more of my energy into writing, which is like my main passion, but you know, I love filming, I love sitting down for you guys, I love connecting with you guys, so I promise I'm going to be way better and get way back into being consistent and on top of things, because this is like my safe space. You guys are my people and my family and my best friends, and I don't want to leave you guys hanging for too long. I always feel guilty when I don't post for a few days, because I love you guys and you mean so much to me, and I never want you guys to think I'm forgetting about you or anything. But yeah, so as you can see, I just got back from San Diego. I've got some tan lines going on. Some tan lines. It was a beautiful trip. I'm from San Diego, so it was very nice to go back home, see my hometown friends, and soak up the beautiful weather. It was really nice. Really nice. But today we're going to be doing a Q&A, a long-awaited Q&A video. Long-awaited. Very long-awaited. I am going to be doing multiple of these, so if your question isn't in this one, don't panic. I promise I'll probably get to it eventually. A lot of them are repeat questions as well. So I would have just been asking the same thing over and over. But I tried to do as many as I could without doing repeats. Without doing repeats. So let's just get right into it, shall we? Thank you guys for clicking on this video and being here with me today. I love you very much. Never forget it. Okay. Also, I did some different jewelry on I rarely ever wear rings anymore because I get overstimulated when I have rings on sometimes. But I thought these ones were pretty. I need to get my nails filled terribly. People always ask about my nails as well. It's milky white with chrome on top. It's kind of like a pearl effect, which I think is so pretty. I usually either do the pearly whites or I'll do French tip with chrome, and I'll do the same thing on my toes. So yeah, that's the nails. But I love wearing the jewelry with the white, or the pearl center rather, because it matches the nails perfectly and I feel like it just looks so gorgeous. But yeah, I've got rings on, which is terrifying for me because I hate wearing rings. And then I have this little bracelet I got off Amazon. It's like a Van Cleef dupe. But yeah, and then the little watch from Amazon too. But yeah, I just wanted to show that off. And then I have orange juice here. I love freshly squeezed orange juice so much. Okay. Let's get into the questions. First question. Let me adjust you guys a little bit. Is that better? What types of poetry do you gravitate to the most, and what genre of literature do you mainly read? I hope you're well. Wishing you and everyone reading this a lovely day. Thank you so much for your question, my love. I hope you're doing amazing. What type of poetry do I gravitate towards? I am a huge hopeless romantic, so any sort of poetry that indicates yearning and longing for someone and desiring someone, it's right up my alley. But I really love introspection poetry, so poetry about oneself or one's mental health, or what you might deal with or battle internally. I love that so much because I feel like 99% of humans feel alone in the way that I'm thinking and I'm feeling a lot of the time, and then when I see a poem that deeply resonates with me, it makes me feel a lot less alone, and it makes me feel seen and less crazy for the way that I feel sometimes. So I feel like introspective poetry is so near and dear to me, but also just the yearning, the hopeless romantic, and desiring someone lovey-dovey type of poetry means a lot to me as well, because I love very intensely and very deeply, so I resonate with a lot of it, and I also like making it myself. So yeah, I would say those are the two main ones. I think all types of poetry and all genres of poetry are beautiful, though, and can speak to you in different ways, and I think that's what makes it so impactful and amazing. But genre of literature do I mainly enjoy? Romance, for sure. I just got the book Credence when I was in San Diego, my best friend and I. Hi, Rose, I think you're probably going to be watching this. I love you. Got a book to read together, and it's called Credence. So if you've heard of it, and if it's good, let me know. But I'm trying to think. I've been loving Daisy Jones and the Six, and I just started the Amazon show of it. Where has it been all my life? I've been so hyperfixated on the 70s lately for some reason. I love it so much. It's so good. But I'm trying to think. I feel like romance would be my favorite. My favorite book of all time, I think, is... Oh, that's hard. Probably like Little Women. I love like Pride and Prejudice, Jane Eyre, but I don't know. I think definitely romance is probably what I gravitate to the most. It's just, I'm a hopeless romantic. I love love. But thank you for that question. Thank you. Next question is, what's something you're most passionate about? Hobby, random thing, anything in general? I think just any form of art, like movies, music, books. I've always been very passionate about that, and I'm trying to think. Self-growth, recreation, and just finding yourself and learning and growing and evolving and becoming better and better every day. I think that's something that I've been especially passionate about lately, and just working on yourself. But definitely art in any form I've always been so passionate about. I think that's what makes life worth living, honestly. A lot of these I'm probably going to sound like a broken record, and I apologize for that. Okay, next question. How did you get over your first heartbreak / have you ever been in love? How did I get over my first heartbreak? Well, I have been in one very serious long-term relationship, which was 2 years. And that was very difficult to get over and to move on from, because I had such an intense connection with that individual. And I still think to this day that's probably the only person so far who's truly seen me and who knows me, every single side of me, who knows me inside and out, and just has seen the very raw, deep, vulnerable sides of me. And I think that's a connection that can be really hard to let go of. But I think for me, just realizing that obviously people part ways for a reason, and anyone who's truly meant for you will never pass you by, and keeping hope that there are people out there who are going to love you, and there's so much life to live and so many people that you're going to meet. So I think that really helped me get over it as well, just knowing this isn't the end of the world. I'm going to be okay. There are so many people that I haven't met yet that are going to love me so gently and in the way that I'm craving and that I'm desiring. Yeah, it was difficult. I'm not even going to lie and say that it, was easy, because it was very hard, and I feel like healing is not linear. It's very chaotic and all over the place, and it comes in waves. And some days you think you're okay, and some days you're breaking down over it, and that goes for anything: relationships, grieving someone you might have lost, friendship. So that's something important to remember too, that it comes in waves, and just to be gentle with yourself. I think just really doing a lot of self-work and sitting with myself too, and realizing the things that I did wrong in that relationship as well. I think a lot of the time we don't really like to sit back and recognize our faults. Obviously there's relationships where it mainly is the one person who's like causing the breakup or causing the rift, but I think a lot of the time it takes two to create some sort of conflict, and it's really good to look within and just be like, okay, what did I do wrong? What can I do better? What do I want to fix and bring into my next relationship? So really sitting with yourself, I think, is really important. And yeah, I'm gonna take a sip of my orange juice. It's also 110 degrees in Vegas right now, and I turned the AC off so you guys could hear me better. So if I look sweaty and crazy, I'm sorry. part 2 of that question was, have you ever been in love? Yes, I think my 2-year relationship is, I can confidently say that that was a time when I was truly in love with someone. Next question. Do you have a significant other? So I like to keep certain things like that a little bit more private unless I feel like it's something I'm ready to be open about. I will say there's a very, very special individual in my life, and I'm very happy. I'm very, very happy with a special person, so I will say that. Next question. What are some artists you love that inspire people and are really underrated and not a lot of people know about? This is a really cool question. Remy Bond is amazing. She's the perfect mix between Lana Del Rey and ABBA, in my opinion. I love like the Hawaiian tropical pageant princess vibe that she has, and her songs always just make me feel so hot, and I love them so much. Trying to think of others. Elliot James Ray, his sound is very old, which I love. He's bringing back the more old school sound. It's very Elvis, Ricky Nelson. I'm trying to think. There's so many that I feel like are completely, I should have probably wrote down my answers before doing this, but Remy Bond, Elliot James Ray, he has the song, I Think They Call This Love, I Think They Call This Love. That's a really good one, super cute. I don't think she's very underrated, but I've been loving Nessa Barrett lately so much. I'm obsessed with her at the moment. Her songs are so good. And another, just if I want to feel hot, if I'm going out, I want to feel sexy, her songs are perfect for that. I just blast them. I don't really think she's that underrated, but I think she's so talented and so good. I love her sound so much. And yeah, I feel like those are the main ones. I feel like Remy Bond just truly is so underrated. I love her music so much. Next question. Thank you guys for these questions, by the way. They're amazing. What's your aesthetic? This is hard because I quite literally change my aesthetic every single day. It's never just one. I can never stick to one, no matter how hard I try. But I think that's good. I think that's good. Should I bring you guys closer? I think that's good. I think limiting yourself is doing a disservice to yourself. You should allow yourself to expand and tap into other styles. I definitely can't stick to just one. I fall in love with a new aesthetic every single day. Like I said, I've been very hyperfixated on the 70s lately and taking inspiration from the 70s style. I just ordered like a really pretty long sleeve flowy dress and like a flower crown. And I'm always switching. I'm switching between a different aesthetic every single day, but I think that's what's fun. You never have to limit yourself to one thing, so I wanted to let you guys know that as well, because I feel like that's something I needed to hear. I used to think that if I presented myself a certain way, I had to just remain that way the rest of my life. I couldn't ever branch out or tap into different styles that I thought were cooler, that I resonated with. So take this as your sign. If you want to be rock star girlfriend one day and then cottage core the next, I say do it, and you'll look fantastic doing it. There's nothing wrong with that. So yeah, I don't think I have a specific aesthetic. I think my main ones that I gravitate towards are like, you guys tell me, I don't know, what do you guys think? What do I give off? I'm curious, because I truly can't even tell you. It changes every day, so it's really difficult, but yeah, I think I find and pull inspiration from many different sources, and if I like something, I allow myself to kind of tap into it and try it out, without being hard on myself or thinking that I have to present myself in one way. But yeah, sorry I didn't have the best answer for that one. Hopefully you guys can tell me what I give off, and we'll go from there. Next question is, what's your biggest ick/pet peeve? I'm like, I have many. No, I'm just kidding. I don't get annoyed very easily. It takes a lot for me to be annoyed, honestly. And if I am annoyed with you, 9 times out of 10, you probably won't even be able to tell. It takes a lot for me to be annoyed, but I think biggest ick and pet peeve is when I'm talking to someone and having a conversation with someone and I can tell they're not listening. I think attentiveness is like my most favorite trait, and I think it's so attractive, and it's a beautiful thing to know that when you're talking to someone, they're actually listening, and it's something I'm working on too. I think as humans, it's hard for us to fully be present all of the time So it's something that I'm still working on. But I think that's definitely something that kind of annoys me and gives me the ick, and it's a huge pet peeve of mine, because I hate when I'm talking to someone and I can tell they're not fully listening, or they're super, super distracted, or not giving me their full attention. I also think people who are mean to waiters or workers, I don't like that at all. There's so many people who are just mean for no reason, ignorance, all those basic common ones. But definitely I think the main one is just when someone isn't fully present when I'm talking, or when we're having like a good conversation. Because that's something I take so seriously. I love talking to people, and I love having conversations with people, and I love when like both parties are mutually listening. I think it's very, very beautiful and very nice. But yeah, hopefully, I'm trying to think. Bad hygiene too. That's an ick for me as well. Someone who's just pretentious, like somebody who acts like they know everything and is very condescending, goes about it in a very condescending way. I don't like that either, because I hate when people talk to me like I'm stupid, because I feel like I've been told this before. I come across very like ditzy and bubbly, because I'm very like, I don't know, I've been told that a lot throughout my life, that I come across like very ditzy and very just in my own little world, and very I'm trying to think of the word. I've been told that quite a few times throughout my life. So I feel like a lot of people, when they're speaking to me, I've been in situations where it feels like they're talking down to me or belittling me in a sense, and I can't stand that. I can't stand it at all. I can't stand it. But thank you for that question. Next question: how do I deal with stress? Honestly, my favorite way to unwind after a stressful day, or if I'm feeling very, very overstimulated with life, is watching New Girl and ordering my favorite food. Whenever I'm feeling stressed or anxious, I do things that I know will genuinely bring me joy. I try not to like try something new. So if I'm already stressed and I'm having a bad day, I'm not going to step outside of the box and try a new Thai place. I'm going to stick to the things that I actually know make me feel good, because I've done that before. When I'm having a bad day, I'll like, oh, I'm going to try something new, and then it just makes my day worse because it's not good. So I feel like, sticking to what actually makes me feel good and having designated things. So for me, my designated little comfort show is New Girl. And I'll usually order myself like a little bundt cake. There's a place here in Vegas called Nothing Bundt Cakes, and it's really good. It's usually like my go-to little comfort. I'm having a bad day snack. Or ice cream. There's these like Van Leeuwen. I don't know how to say it. I think it's French. Van Leeuwen ice cream bars. They're the chocolate ones, and I love them. I never get tired of them. So lots of those, lots of New Girl. Getting off of my phone. If I'm on my phone and I'm already stressed and overstimulated, it makes me feel so much worse. And tuning myself out from the world. I think alone time is really, really good for when I'm feeling stressed. I know some people prefer like maybe going out, which sometimes I do. I almost dropped my earring. Sometimes I do prefer being around people when I'm not feeling my best, but I think it's crucial for me that I have like my time away. I need to kind of regroup and recharge. That way I can show up feeling a lot better and in a better way. Hopefully that made sense. Okay, thank you for the question. Next question. What's the most important life lesson you've learned throughout life? Is it a lesson you hope other people learn too? That's a really beautiful question. I feel like there's so many lessons that I've learned, but I think realizing that you're not always right. I feel like it's so easy for us to always think that we're in the right, and I've been in so many situations where I've had to take a step back and realize my faults and realize my wrongs. I also think realizing that there's a life outside of your head. I think a lot of us spend a lot of time in our head, and for me personally, at least with my anxious thoughts and overthinking, I feel like I spend a lot of time in my head and I'm not fully present, and I believe my anxious or overwhelming or depressed thoughts a lot of the time, and I fail to realize that there is like a life happening outside of me. It's not all just in my head, and there's beauty outside of it, and it's not so negative and as bad as my brain tries to make it out to be. So I think those are really important life lessons, and I think I've been practicing compassion a lot lately too, approaching situations with compassion and understanding rather than immediately being defensive or immediately letting like ego or pride get in the way. I think a little bit of compassion could just alleviate a lot of situations, and I don't know, I think things would be mended a lot easier if we just approached each other with more compassion and understanding. Some situations it's hard, and I'm still struggling, I'm still learning. We're only human, so of course it's going to take time to like build a good habit and to get better at things. And you know, we're all going to have our shortcomings, but I think those are like the main important life lessons that I feel like I've learned. There's so many, but I feel like those are the ones that stick out to me, at least lately. Thank you for that question. These are really beautiful questions. Next question is there any ASMR video of yours that's your favorite or least favorite? I've answered this so many times. I feel like a lot of these will be repeated ones that I've answered already, but we can brush up on them. My favorite ASMR videos to film are probably my Victoria's Secret Angel ones, because I'd always wanted to be a Victoria's Secret Angel, so I get to live vicariously through those. My Jennifer Check videos, because I love Jennifer's body. Jennifer Check is just iconic, and it's fun to pretend to be her in a video. I also love my little like Fixing You, You're a Robot series, which I'm going to continue. I'm just trying to think of where I want the story to go. I think it's so fun creating ASMR roleplays because you can create your own stories and essentially be your own director, and I think that's so cool. So I feel like those are like my main favorites. My least favorites are probably like the bitchy videos that I have to film, because I feel so bad. I have to make the characters so mean because you guys love it. You guys love, for some reason, you guys love the super mean characters. So I have to perform that, and it's difficult sometimes because I feel so bad with some of the stuff that I say, but you guys love it, so I gotta give my babes what they want. But it's definitely it's a struggle sometimes to film those ones, because then I also have to cut a lot of the time because I can't stop laughing. I'm like, what did I just say? It's terrible. I need more orange juice. I love orange juice, by the way. I'm not the biggest apple juice fan unless it's ice cold, but even then I definitely prefer orange juice. Okay, next. Tips for networking / meeting people similar to ourselves. I have trouble meeting people I can just click with. Not sure if I'm just awkward. Oh, thank you so much for your question. And there's nothing wrong with being awkward, by the way. I think embrace your shyness, embrace your awkwardness. We're not all going to be social butterflies and super charismatic and good conversationalists. And I think there's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with either one. I don't think either one is good or bad. And I think if you're a shy person, embrace it. There's nothing wrong with that. I think there's a lot of beauty in certain things, and it's not necessarily a bad thing to be a shy person and to keep to yourself. And we're all awkward and shy at the end of the day. I think some of us are just a lot better at hiding it than others. But I think meeting people similar to ourselves. So for me, at least, I definitely, whenever I'm out and I see someone that I think has like a cool style or kind of similar vibe or aesthetic to what I have going on, I will just go up to them. I've just thought, why not? Because I feel like I'll regret it. If I don't, I'll go home and be like, I should have asked that girl for her Instagram or asked for their number. And 9 times out of 10, the person you're approaching is going to be so sweet and will love to be your friend or connect in some sort of way. So I think, kind of allowing yourself, and you can start very small, just go up to one person in a coffee shop, or start small by complimenting people. Like if you're super introverted and scared of talking to human beings, starting small. So like if you're getting a coffee, compliment the barista, say, I like your hair, or I like your eyes. Start a tiny conversation. You don't have to jump into, hey, can I get your Instagram or number? Start small, ease your way into it until you can get to a point where you're like, hey, that person across the way is wearing those shoes that I really like, or they're wearing an outfit that I love and I would totally wear. Maybe we have similar tastes. I'm gonna go up to them and just say, hey, I like your outfit. Do you want to be friends? I'm looking for more connections here. That's what I usually do. And like I said, 9 times out of 10, people will be so on board for it. And if they're not, then they're just not meant to be in your life. But I definitely think just putting yourself out there, even though it's easier said than done, which is why I think starting small is really important. So work your way into it. But I would love to be your friend. So if you ever see me in person, come up to me and we'll be best friends. But yeah, I definitely understand feeling awkward. I feel like I can be very extroverted. My friends say that I'm extroverted, but my social battery dies very fast, and it's hard for me to hide. Like when people say they're like an extroverted introvert, I feel like that's how I can be. I'm very, very social, but I feel like once my social battery dies, I always feel so bad because it's really hard for me to hide it too. I'm quiet, I'm ready to go home now, but yeah, nothing wrong with being awkward though. I think awkward people are awesome, just as awesome as the super social people. The next question is, what's your favorite thing at the moment? Basically, just yap a little about whatever's on your mind that no one has asked you about yet. I love this question. I always feel like I lose my train of thought whenever I start filming, but I think, like I said, I've been really hyperfixated on the 70s, mainly because of Daisy Jones and the Six, and I started watching the show, so it's making my obsession and my hyperfixation worse. I think I just got a new little, well, I didn't just get it, I rediscovered that I had it in my drawer, but I have like a little Sony CyberShot digital camera that I've been carrying with me everywhere, and I'll do little videos that I can look back on. So photography has been really fun for me lately, and just documenting my life, and I think it's so cute to have stuff to look back on. Thrifting, I've been loving thrifting extra lately, especially with Depop. I've been super into like vintage designer bags, and I've been literally up at like 3 in the morning scrolling through Depop trying to find the perfect ones. But yeah, and trying to think of like something silly and small that I've been super hyper fixated on. Strawberry milkshakes. I have been loving strawberry milkshakes and cheesecake lately. For some reason have been like my favorite thing. I have cheesecake like every other day, and anytime I'm out, I'm just like, can we go get strawberry milkshakes? So yeah, just a couple little silly things. Thank you for the question. Next question is, how do you deal with people hating on you for how much you've changed over the years? This is a really good one. Obviously people who've been watching me or who've known from my TikTok years, triggering to say, know that I've changed a lot physically and just the way I present myself, and I feel like a lot of people haven't been very accepting of that, but then there's also been an immense amount of support and people who just still accept me and still love me for who I am now. I think just realizing at the end of the day, just knowing who I am and knowing that who I am is genuine, and knowing my intentions and who I am as a person is genuine, and I'm content with it, and the people around me know who I am. I think it's very frustrating and discouraging that we don't allow people to change and allow people to grow. And I started social media when I was like 16, I think, and I'm 21 now. And of course there's going to be a lot of physical changes. I was a child back then, and I'm still learning and growing and finding my style, and that comes with a lot of awkward phases and pulling inspiration, sometimes too much inspiration from certain people, and just going with the ebb and flow of life and figuring out who I truly am. And it always pains me to hear when people think that I'm like not genuine with who I am now, because this feels like the most me that I've ever been. This feels like who I've always been, but I'd always been scared to show off or show, because I felt like I had to present myself a certain way and act a certain way. So I'm just happy that who I am now is who I genuinely have always wanted to be, and I feel like every day I'm still growing and evolving and finding myself, and who knows, maybe even a year from now I'll be completely different. But I think just like mentally and my style and everything is the most me and most confident in myself that I've felt my entire life. I was never able to say that even a few years ago. So it is hard and it does suck, because I feel like sometimes people keep me like locked in this little bubble, and it feels like a little bit exhausting at times. But this is me, and I'm happy with who I am now, and I understand also people's perspectives of like, are you ashamed of your old looks or the way you used to look, or why did you change this and why did you change that? I understand how it looks from an outside perspective, and I think people are valid in feeling the way that they feel, and everyone is entitled to their own opinions, of course, but it definitely can be a little bit frustrating and discouraging at times, because I feel happy with who I am now, and I just want that to be accepted. And I don't want to constantly be compared to who I was when I was 16 years old. But yeah, so hopefully that makes sense. I think just knowing who I am at the end of the day, and the people around me know me and love me, and know who I truly am and my intentions and who I am as a person. So I think that kind of helps a little bit, but I understand both sides. But yeah, thank you so much for that question. The next question is, what are your favorite books? I already listed most of them earlier, but Little Women, Jane Eyre, Pride and Prejudice, Daisy Jones and the Six. Now, obviously, I also love like Alice in Wonderland, Peter Pan. I love those books too because they're so nostalgic. There's so many. I have a whole drawer full of them. Maybe I'll do like a book. I feel like that would be a cute video, like a book haul, book collection video. I have many, but those are just a few. I could go on and on. Next question. What are your favorite types of poems to write? Like I said in the very beginning, lovey-dovey, yearning, romance, hopeless romantic sort of books or poetry, and introspection stuff. So just stuff about mental health and basically just like pouring out what's in my brain, but articulating it in a more artsy, poetic way. My goal with my book is to hopefully make people feel less alone, because that's usually what I always feel when I read poetry, is I feel seen and less alone with how I'm feeling. So I always hope that whenever I do release it, which I hope will be in the near future, that it'll help people feel less alone and feel seen. And I love writing so much, so anything is my favorite, but nothing makes me feel more connected to myself other than writing. It just feels like me, the most me thing. So yeah, I love it. I love it to write anything, anytime. Even when I'm out in my little journal, I've been writing like what I'm doing, any random thoughts that I'm having. I just think writing is so beautiful and it can really connect you to yourself. Next question. What's an unpopular opinion of yours? Ooh. I have a really good one, but I'm scared to say it. I'm really scared to say this one. Can you guys pinky promise you're not going to laugh at me in the comments, okay? Oh my gosh, I need to take a sip before I say this one because I know the thoughts on the situation. Okay, ready guys? I'm coming out as a Benson Boone fan. I love Benson Boone. I said it and I'm not ashamed. I'm not ashamed. I think Benson Boone is really iconic and awesome. Mystical Magic. I love the song Mystical Magical. I'm not even kidding. There was a week, this was like a couple weeks ago, for like a week straight, that was all I was listening to. Like, I kept replaying it over and over again. I think that song is so cute and so fun. And the reason I'm laughing is because I've seen all the hate that he's been getting and that song has been getting. I personally think he's really iconic and really cool and very overhated, and it honestly breaks my heart the way people treat him. I think he's just doing his thing, and I think he's iconic. I loved his little Queen tribute that he did as well. I love Freddie Mercury, so I thought that was awesome. But Moonbeam Ice Cream, taking off your blue jeans, dancing at the movies, because it feels so mystical, magical. Guys, I love it. I'm sorry. Okay. I don't want to hear a thing in the comments. I will not take any Benson Boone slander. But yeah, I think he's awesome. I think he receives a lot of unnecessary hate. It just breaks my heart in general to see people being hated on for doing what they love. It truly breaks my heart. And people can be very, very harsh. But if there's any other fellow Benson Boone stans out there, comment down below so I feel less alone. I will heart your comment and we will become best friends. Okay, next question. What is something that helps you keep going in terms of self-help / improvement when times are difficult and giving up is tempting? I think for me, there's been points of my life where I was so low, and trigger warning, with my mental health, and when I had contemplated, taking my own life or disappearing. And I think something that kind of helped me to keep going and realize how truly beautiful life was, which this is kind of small, but it's something that I always told myself in those situations. All of the little tiny things about life, like your favorite TV show, your favorite song, your favorite snack, your favorite friend to talk to, a photo that makes you smile, that makes you laugh, a scent that you love, a place that you go to when you're feeling like you need a break from the world. All of those small things, your favorite plate, just anything. I feel like that's what makes life so beautiful. And I think about in those moments, if I were to disappear right now, if I were to leave this earth, I wouldn't have those things anymore. I wouldn't be able to come home after a hard day and watch my most favorite show in the world and laugh and feel good, because, you know, if you're religious, obviously, or if you have certain beliefs, you believe in certain things, as far as like the afterlife goes. But, you know, truly not knowing what happens afterwards and if we'll be able to take all of the little things that we love so dearly with us is something that I've always kept in mind whenever I've gotten really low. And just knowing and remembering that, like, those are the small things that keep you going. Even if you are very depressed and all you do all day is just sit in bed and scroll on your phone and you come across a video that made you laugh for the first time in 5 days, those are the things that make life worth living and that make life beautiful. It's not, you know, obviously the big grand stuff is amazing as well, but it's like those tiny things that really keep us here. And it's a beautiful part of humanity and about life. And I think realizing that you won't be able to take those things with you, and those things that you love and hold so dearly with you, and they make life so special. So hopefully I answered that properly, if that was kind of what the question was. But that's something that I've always thought about to myself, and something that I tried to remind myself of, and it's definitely helped me in situations when I've been very low. So I hope that that's able to help you, and I'm sending you love. I see you, I love you, I hear you, and you're amazing, you're beautiful inside and out. Life is going to get so much better, so much brighter for you. Hang in there. I love you, you are loved, and I'm sending you all of the most beautiful, amazing, peaceful, abundant energy that I can muster up. I love you. Next question is, what qualities do you look for in friends? I think attentiveness, like I said in the ick question, just attentiveness, listening to each other, humor. I love being able to just laugh with people, friends who are like comfortable with sitting in silence as well, like being able to just sit in the same room and just kind of be doing our own things but still know that we're okay and we love each other. And that's a big thing for me, especially with my social battery when it dies. I have amazing friends, thankfully, who are the same way as me as well, that kind of just, we're a little tired, we're a little antisocial, so we choose to kind of, you know, be a little bit more quiet, but it's never a bad thing. It doesn't mean we hate each other, it's just we're simply existing together. I always think that's very beautiful. I think compassion, just like compassionate people and understanding people, is really good to have around as well. This question is, hi Kate, my question is, what do you love most about life? Thank you for the question, my love. I think it ties back into what I just said. I just think the little, tiny little baby things that we overlook are what make life so beautiful. And I think the people, too. I think just feeling loved and loving people is so beautiful and something that means so much to me. And learning more about people, I feel like it's always so amazing when I meet someone new and I get to love and get to know someone again. And everyone's so intricate and so beautiful, and there's so much more to people than like the surface layer stuff. So I think it's amazing to get to know people, and there are some just incredible, beautiful, wonderful souls out there who will make you feel so loved and so cared for. So yeah, I think the little things in life just make me happy, like comfort shows, your favorite song, your favorite snack, hugging someone, smiling at a stranger. Those things mean so much to me, and I think they make life so, so, so beautiful. The next question is top 3 favorite albums. This is really difficult for me, but obviously first and foremost is AM by Arctic Monkeys. I love it. A lot of my writing, like my yearning writing, is inspired by Alex Turner's lyrics. I just think he's incredible. I could go on and on, but AM by Arctic Monkeys, I know everyone thinks like that's a fake fan thing to say, but it's popular for good reason. Second is probably Born to Die Paradise Edition by Lana Del Rey. And my third is probably, that's so hard. I'm like looking at my records right here trying to see. I think Currents by Tame Impala, maybe, because I feel like I found that album at a very low point in my life, and I felt very heard and seen by a lot of the lyrics and the songs. especially like eventually Let It Happen is a song that I put on when I'm feeling anxious, because it reminds me to just let it happen and let the emotions kind of flow through. Yes, I'm Changing. Oh my gosh, that's been on repeat for me the past couple years. I just think it's such a beautiful introspective song, and makes me again just feel very seen. So I feel like Currents by Tame Impala, Born to Die Paradise Edition by Lana, and AM by Arctic Monkeys are my favorites. Taking them to the grave with me, that's for sure. The next question is, what was your dream job as a child? My dream job as a child was to be a Victoria's Secret angel. I always watched the shows growing up, and I'd rewatch them over and over again, and then I'd put heels on and I'd walk around the house, because I was like, I need to prepare just in case it ever happens. So I don't know how I'm still not the best at walking in heels after practicing it for years. I'm not terrible at walking in heels, but I prefer not to. Trying to get better. Thankfully, my boots, my signature boots that I wear every day, are like very, very tiny, like an inch. But anything a little higher than that, I look a little bit silly sometimes. Next question. Tips to feel more feminine. Any habits you suggest to take on, or anything at all? This is a beautiful question. I think for me, I feel like I'm very hyper feminine. The most me that I feel is when I'm very, very, very feminine, dressed in feminine clothes. And I feel like romanticizing your life is very feminine as well. So if you're going to take a shower, light a candle, spray some like room spray in the shower, put on a beautiful Frank Sinatra playlist, or I have a playlist called Somewhere in Italy, or Somewhere in Northern Italy, and it's just a bunch of beautiful like Italian songs that make me feel like I'm floating, and I feel like I'm beautiful and just running through a field in a dress, and just really slowing down as well. So like when you're in the shower, really lather up, slow down, romanticize it, pretend you're in a movie. When you're going to bed, light a candle, or I have fake candles that I use as nightlights, and it gives my room this very cozy ambiance. I like to have like fresh flowers in my bathroom always. I also speak to them, so like speaking kindly to the things around you, I think is also very feminine, very sweet. It makes you feel very princessy. I also think I study a lot of like Marilyn Monroe type videos, and she's also one of my biggest inspirations, so I think she's really helped me tap into that feminine side and embrace it, because I feel like especially nowadays, femininity can be looked down upon, because it's really normalized to be a little bit more masculine, which is completely fine, and there's nothing wrong with either side. But I personally just feel the most me when I'm very, very, very hyper feminine, and I don't think there's anything wrong with embracing it if that's something that you feel called to do. And I notice it makes me feel like a little bit more whimsical and alive. So little things like that. I definitely recommend watching Marilyn Monroe movies. Those make me feel very feminine. Any old Hollywood classics, honestly. But yeah, I hope that those tips helped. Thank you for the question. Next question is, do you use a script for your ASMR role plays? All of my role plays are improvised. I think I've said this before, but if I were to script them, I feel like it would be too much pressure and I would stumble. I already kind of stumble in my words when I talk, because I tend to talk kind of fast sometimes. But I think that would just stress me out even more, honestly. So no scripts. I like to improvise everything. Hopefully it's decent without a script. Maybe I should start scripting some stuff, because it's hard to make things up on the spot, but I find it works better for me. Next question. We're going to rapid fire through these, because my little ring light is about to die. It's about to die. Next question. Love language. Ooh. I feel like my main love language is probably words of affirmation, and then my second would be physical touch, and words of affirmation. Those are my favorites. I feel the most loved when like someone's very touchy with me, and I think also vocalizing it, of course, makes me feel very loved. So, and I'm a very, very touchy. Even with my friends, I love to like cuddle and hug my friends and tell them how much I love them. I'm very vocal and loud with my love and my love for people. So it's nice to have it reciprocated back. Next question. These are beautiful questions. I love you guys so much. A cartoon character you resonate with. I think Alice from Alice in Wonderland, because I feel like I spend a lot of time in my imagination and kind of in my own world. And I just loved that movie as a child, so I've always resonated, and Alice has always been very special to me. I also think Sally from The Nightmare Before Christmas and Corpse Bride. I think those are like my main ones. The next question is a movie quote you love. I think that's so hard. I really love, I just mentioned this in a video that I filmed today too, the record store roleplay from Almost Famous, when Penny Lane goes, I always tell the girls, never take it seriously. If you never take it seriously, you never get hurt. If you never get hurt, you'll always have fun. And if you ever get lonely, just go to the record store and visit your friends. I love that one a lot. I love Almost Famous. It's such a good movie. I also love Before Sunrise. There's a quote. Oh my gosh, there's so many from Before Sunrise that I could quote. But I love the scene where she goes, I hope I don't butcher this, but loving someone and being loved means so much to me. I always make fun of it and stuff, but isn't everything we do in life a way to be loved a little more? I love that one too. And then I also love, what's the movie? I think is it Dead Poets Society? I believe that's what it's called. And it's, we don't read and write poetry because it's cute. We read and write poetry because we are members of the human race, and the human race is full of passion. I hope that I'm not butchering any of those quotes. There's so many more. I love from Call Me By Your Name, the, is it better to speak or to die? I love that quote so much. I also love the, if only you knew how little I know about the things that matter. I feel like I'm Elio. I really, really do. I really, really resonate with him. But yeah, those are just a few. I could go on and on. I love questions about movies. I love cinema so much. Okay. Next, if you don't mind answering, can you go into a little bit of detail as to why you stopped posting on TikTok / deleted a lot of your old content? For TikTok, I just think I fell out of love with posting on there, to be completely honest, and I didn't resonate with it anymore, and I felt like TikTok was becoming a very hateful place, a very toxic place to be on. And I was on it when it was like Charlie and Addison and all those people were kind of up there, and I remember going to like certain TikTok parties or hanging around certain influencers, and just, it felt very dystopian, and everyone was just not what they portrayed themselves to be, and it was a very dark energy, and I just felt very unsafe and very not cared for by a lot of the people in that industry, which is why I've chose to heavily distance myself from it. So that's the main reason why I wasn't really resonating with it anymore. I really want to come back to it, but a part of me is content with just doing YouTube and Instagram, because TikTok, to be transparent, kind of scares me a little bit, and the people on there I feel like are really ruthless and really mean, and I don't know if that would be good for my mental health, especially because I am getting myself to a better place, so I don't want to backtrack in any way. But that's not to say that I won't ever go on there again. I do reposts on there, but I don't post any videos, which who knows when that'll change or if that'll change. But yeah, I always get scared of TikTok, but that's the main reason. Okay, next couple questions. Let's see. Do you get noticed in public? I got noticed at the airport by these 3 girls. Hi, if you're watching this, you guys were so cute and so pretty and sweet. But I got recognized when I was in the airport, and again recently, I think when I was at the thrift store, I think. So I do get recognized. It's very rare though. It's not that often. It's not that often at all. But it's very sweet. I feel like I'm so awkward and shy, because I'm excited to meet you guys too. I'm like, oh my gosh, I feel like we're best friends practically. So I like freak out over meeting you guys. But yeah, if you ever see me in public, please come say hi and let's be best friends, and I'll give you the biggest hug ever. But yeah, I get noticed, but not that often. Not that often. The next question is, what are some of your weaknesses? This is a good one. I feel like I'm very forgiving, which isn't always the greatest quality. It can be, but it can also be it's a blessing and a curse. I can be very, very, very forgiving, a little bit too forgiving at times. I also always see the good in people, so it kind of blinds me from maybe the bad, or, you know, fully letting go of people who aren't good for me or my well-being. I feel like that would be the main ones that I can think of right now. I feel like I have a lot of weaknesses though, but I feel like those are the main ones. I always think of that song, the Lana song, "They mistook my kindness for weakness." They mistook my kindness for weakness. Because it's true. Okay, last question. Thank you guys so much, by the way. These are amazing questions, and I can't wait to do another part of this when my light isn't dying and when I'm not dying from how hot it is, because I need to turn the AC back on. So I apologize if I'm like fidgety at this point in the video. It's very, very hot in Vegas, but I had to film for my babes. Last question. Current fashion hyperfixation. Well, this has been my hyperfixation for like almost 2 years now, but 1960s inspired baby doll dress with boots and a matching purse. That's all I would ever need the rest of my life. If all I had to wear was a little baby doll dress, some cute little knee-high boots, cute little purse to match the boots, I'm set. I'm good to go. I don't need anything else. I don't need any other piece of clothing. That's it for me. That's definitely been my hyperfixation for a while now. Boots, knee-high boots, stiletto boots, the little chunky boots, any type of boot, cowboy boots. I love them so much. I think that would be it. I also really love lacy thigh-high stockings. I think those are really sexy for like a night out. You could take like a really kind of more conservative, like modest dress, but then make it really sexy with like the pop of the lacy thigh-high stocking. I think that's super cute. But yeah, definitely baby doll dresses. I can't get enough. I love a good dress, mini dress, and boot combo. I wouldn't need anything else. That would make me happy the rest of my life. So, yeah. I hope you guys enjoyed. I'm going to bring you back up here. I hope you guys enjoyed this little Q&A video. It's very long awaited, and I'm so sorry for that, but I will definitely be doing more of these in the future. I love connecting with you guys and talking to you guys, and hopefully helping you guys get to know me just a little bit more. Just a little bit, little bit more. Thank you to everyone who asked questions, and don't fret if I didn't answer yours. I will probably get to it eventually, because I will be doing more of these. But I love you guys so much. Thank you so much for clicking on this. Thank you for being with me. Thank you guys for sticking around and loving me and watching my videos. You guys always say that I help you, but you guys help me. I love you guys so much. You have no idea how much brighter you guys make my days, and the DMs and the comments, I promise that they never ever go unnoticed or unappreciated. I hope you guys know how much you mean to me and how much I love you, and I quite literally I wouldn't be who I am and where I am without any of you. So thank you so much. And yeah, I always have to show my appreciation because I love you guys, but I also can never stop talking because like I just want to stay on. I just want to talk to you guys a little bit longer. But I'm gonna go now. I'm gonna go turn the AC back on and shower and watch Daisy Jones and the Six and go to bed. I love you guys so much. Thank you for being here. And in case I don't see you, good afternoon, good evening, and good night.